So I'll just give some brief idea about hbase first, like what is hbase and what is the architecture of the hbase, all those things. Okay, then I will tell about what are the hbase commands. Okay, so like if we talk about in Hadoop ecosystem, right? So Hadoop ecosystem, there are many components are there. So there are many components are there, and these components are like a storage component, computing component, right? So so storage is SDFS, right? So it's a Hadoop distributed file system. So we are already done the command for the Hadoop distributed file system. And computing, we have MapReduce and Hive. So this also we have covered. So MapReduce is basically a Java programming framework, and it is used for do the computation, like processing framework as a map and reduce function is there. And Hive is a SQL data warehouse tool, and someone who has a very good background about the SQL database, so he can easily understand Hive. Okay, and other one is import and export tool. So import and export tool, there are two import and export tools are there. One is a scoop. So scoop is used for structured data. Okay, the data which is coming, data which is coming from the RDMS to Hadoop distributed file system. So it is only for structured data. And another one tool is there, Flume. So Flume is semi-structured and unstructured data. So semi-structured and unstructured data to import into SDFS. So Flume is used, right? So Flume I have not covered, it has to be covered. Okay, but Scoop I have covered. And the next thing is the hbase. So hbase is a column family database, right? So hbase is first we go through the what is hbase. So hbase is a NoSQL database in Hadoop ecosystem. Okay, so if I'm saying Hadoop ecosystem, then I will say only hbase is there. Okay, and it is column family database. So what is a column family database? I will tell about that. But there are some other NoSQL databases. Okay, so we need to understand the comparison between the SQL database and NoSQL database. Okay, so not only SQL. Okay, so SQL databases are databases, those are vertical scalable. Okay, so SQL databases are vertical scalable, not horizontal, vertical scalable. Like some databases name we know, MySQL, Oracle, DB2, SQL Server. So all these server databases are vertical scalable. Like you can extend the memory disk in a system wherever this databases are installed. You cannot share the data across the machines, right? But another one is NoSQL database. NoSQL databases are horizontal scalable. NoSQL databases are horizontal scalable. Okay, so data can be shared across machines where NoSQL databases are installed. Okay, so some categories, and this is another one more difference is there. SQL databases are having strict schema. Like schema is a very strict. Okay, if you are writing some data in the database, if your schema is not valid, it will not allow to write the data. But NoSQL databases are dynamic schema there. So dynamic schema means the schema is decided on the fly dynamically. At the time of writing the data, it can insert the columns data. Okay, so and the other thing is like SQL databases using asset property. So asset property is like it's a contract, right? Atomicity, consistency, isolation, durability. But in NoSQL database, there is a CAP theorem, CAP. So C for consistency, and A for availability, and P for partition tolerance. Okay. So the basic principle of any NoSQL database is like it should follow at least two properties, either C and A and P, or P or C. Okay, so then it is called a proper perfect NoSQL database. What are the other NoSQL databases are there? So if I talk about no other NoSQL databases, like Mongo is there, MongoDB. So MongoDB, JSON document oriented database, document oriented JSON based document oriented database. What it means, like we can store entire JSON as a file in a Mongo as a document. Okay, so JSON based document oriented database. Okay, so Mongo has a concept of database, and database has the tables, and tables are called collection. Okay, so this is a terminology in Mongo. So if you are not aware, like you should remember, whenever we are talking about the table means collection. Okay, and database is the same term, database is there. And another NoSQL database is Cassandra. So Cassandra is a key value pair database, key value pair. So it is, okay, it is a master slave architecture based database, master slave. So master slave means one MongoDB server will be there, that will be master, and other machines have the MongoDB clients. Okay, so that is called master slave architecture. Okay, and Cassandra is peer-to-peer architecture, peer-to-peer architecture. So every node, adjacent node of Cassandra, like one node has the information about the another node. So peer-to-peer architecture means every node has information about its adjacent node. Okay, so high availability is good. High availability is good, and it is faster. It is faster because if one node is down, so another node will be taken care of because it's an adjacent node. Okay, so that is the advantage. So when I talk about the NoSQL databases, so NoSQL databases, HBase is the one that is a part of the Hadoop ecosystem column family. But the other NoSQL databases, Mongo and Cassandra. Okay, I will go through this Mongo and Cassandra as well, right? So what are the commands are there in the Mongo, how to install Mongo, how to install Cassandra, and how to install HBase. Okay, so this is all about NoSQL. Other one, also one NoSQL is there, that is New4j. So New4j is a graph DB. It's a category of the graph DB. So graph DB means where we have edges and vertices. Okay, so we know, right, Facebook is completely this kind of architecture based. Okay, where friends of friends are there, and I can find friends of friends like. So this kind of architecture is in the New4j is graph DB. Okay, so graph DB is anybody is asking question? Okay, so GraphDB is a database which is based on the edges and vertices, and it is a similar kind of framework like a database which is supporting like in Facebook. Okay, so generally we are in the data engineering profile, we mostly use HBase, Mongo, Cassandra. So these are the three common NoSQL databases. Mongo and Cassandra, these are out of the box because it's not a part of the Hadoop ecosystem, but HBase is a part of Hadoop ecosystem. So when we are learning Spark, right? So Spark integration, we will do Spark integration with HBase, Spark integration with Cassandra, and Spark integration with Mongo. So the main integration part, we will learn how we can write the data to the Cassandra, Mongo, and HBase, and how can we read the data from the HBase, Cassandra, Mongo to the Spark. Okay, so that part I will cover. Okay, so now next thing is, what is the HBase architecture? Okay, so HBase architecture. So if I want to understand the HBase architecture, so I need to understand what are the core component of the HBase. Okay, so HBase has master slave architecture. Same like a Hadoop is a master slave, name node, data node, right? And every component in Hadoop is master slave architecture. So HBase is also following the master slave architecture. And for high availability, HBase is using Zookeeper. So Zookeeper is a very special service. Okay. So Zookeeper is very special coordination service, which is providing high availability, right? If you are using this Zookeeper in Kafka, so it will provide a Kafka high availability. When I'm using this Zookeeper for Hadoop, so like a name node high availability, so that I can provide through Zookeeper. Okay. And another one is like I'm using HBase. So HBase is using also Zookeeper for high availability. So how it provides the high availability? Zookeeper is used for high availability. Okay. So in HBase architecture, there is a one master node is there, and there is a region server. Region servers are there, and region server has multiple regions are there. Okay, multiple regions. So one master server, multiple regions. Okay, region server. Okay. So suppose I'm a client and I'm interacting with the HBase master node. HBase master node. And HBase master node will communicate to the region server. And region server has regions. And each region has memory cache, like we have memstore. Memstore is a local memory cache. Local. So memstore is local memory storage. Okay. And this entire thing is like na H file is there. H file is on top of the SDFS, the storage of HBase data. On top of SDFS, there is a storage files are there. Storage files. And these storage files are called H file. Okay. And these H files are on top of SDFS. Okay. So ultimately your data is on SDFS only, but in the form of H files. Okay. And there is a concept of wall, write ahead log. Okay. So when master server is writing the data to the region server, it temporarily write to the wall. Okay. So when master server is writing data to region server, it writes first to wall. Okay. It's a temporary storage area. It is temporary storage area to store data, and then it flush to memory area. Okay. And then finally the data is stored in the H file, and then finally data will be stored on H files after the processing of the data. H file after processing from the memory store. Okay. So this is the architecture of HBase. So how many core components are there in the HBase? So HBase master server, HBase region server, and region servers have multiple regions. Multiple regions are there, and wall is there, write ahead log, H file is there, and mem store is there. The memory storage area, mem store is there. So these are the core component of HBase. HBase is called column family database. HBase is called column family. Every NoSQL database has one characteristics. If I say Mongo has the characteristic, it's a JSON document oriented database. Okay, it's a JSON document type. If I say Cassandra is a key value pair type, Neo4j is a graph DB type, So hbase is a column family type. So column family database means the hbase has multiple columns, can be grouped together and make a single column family. Can make single column family. So what is the advantage of this column family? So suppose I say I have a employee. An employee has personal detail. Okay. So personal detail has the columns which are related to his personal information. And one more column family, I can say professional details. So professional details means like my professional detail related, like my payroll, salary, my date of joining. Okay, so all those columns will come in the professional detail. Personal details, I can say my name, age, my address, those are personal information. So whatever columns are associated, then can be grouped together and make it one column family. So this is a column family. And there is a concept of, this is a data modeling. Okay, so just remember it. What is the data modeling in hbase? See, data modeling is a general concept. Okay, data modeling is a general concept. Data modeling is a concept of defining the design of your tables. Data modeling is design and implementation of your database, whatever type of database of your database is design and implementation of your database tables. It could have your table keys, relationships is there. It could have keys, or mostly keys like primary key, but here is relationship is not there, because whatever is embedded data is there, right? Like it is stored in the column family. So here is no relationship concept is there in the hbase. So mostly NoSQL databases, they don't have relationship. Okay, even in the Cassandra, Mongo, and hbase, all three have their embedded data. Like one particular column has address details, one particular column has all references, right? Okay, so there is no need of separate table for relationship. So data retrieval is faster because there is no join. Okay, so data modeling is a principle like a design and implementation of any database tables, configuration, and their ER diagram. So those things will come in the, and their schema, right? Like I can say star schema in the data warehousing term, star schema, snowflake schema. So these are the data warehousing concept. So when I say the data modeling in hbase, so I define in the hbase a table, and table has column family, and every row is uniquely identified by row key. So row key is a ID, which is making every row unique in hbase. Okay, so every like one ID column will be there, and that column will be row. Okay, and other columns will be having a group of columns that is called column family, and that is hbase is defining. Okay, so hbase has some sort of command. Hbase is using its query language. Okay, so hbase is a CQLSS. Like I can say it's on query language. It's on query language, similar to SQL. Okay, but it is not exactly SQL. Okay, so hbase shell. First, we have to bring the hbase shell after the installation, and then we can write the command. Okay, I want to create a table. Create single quote emp, and then I say I want to create a column family, professional detail. So this is my column family. So once table is created, then I will use the put command to put the data into column families column. Okay, so I will show all the commands, right? What are the commands are there? Okay, so here also DDL, DML, and data control language, all type of commands are there. So DDL command is related to table definition command, table definition. Okay, and alter command, table alter, right? Like you want to modify the column family name and you want to modify the column, so you can use the table alter commands. So this command comes in the DDL. DML command is inserting the data, like we are using the put command, and like we can say get command, scan command. Scan command is for reading the data, get command is also reading the data. Okay, but scan command is used to scan whole table data, and get command is used to get only specific row ID and column family data. Okay, so these are the DML commands and DDL commands. Some permission command, those are coming in the DCL, data control language. So there is a grant permission commands are there. So these commands are used for giving a permission on the table, right? I don't want to allow everybody's to. Anybody asking question? So basically, data control language is basically giving a permission, right? Grant and permission command. So far is clear, right? What about the hbase? This is very high level. Okay, I show the. Okay, first is hbase is following in the cap theorem. What are the property it is following in the cap theorem? Okay, so if we look at we can see this diagram. So here is this is the picture for all NoSQL databases. Okay, so mostly NoSQL database, if you see here, hbase is coming in the category of consistency and partition tolerance. So consistency means the data is consistent, like multiple transactions are happening, but still the data is not stale. So if any client is reading the data or any client is writing the data, that time the lock is there. So mostly lock is there on that at the time of writing data. Okay, so while reading data, if somebody is writing data, so that time lock will be there. Okay, so hbase is maintaining the consistency. And the second second property of the cap theorem is followed by the hbase, partition tolerance. So data is distributed into the partitions. I told you reasons are there. So data is having replicated. So data is replicated, and once one server is down, one region server is down, the data will be got it from the another region server. So partition tolerance is basically distributing the data into multiple partitions and the data is replicated. And high availability, so when the data is partitioned and the high availability comes in picture, right? Like basically your data is highly available. If any one server is down, so we can get it another server to get the data. So Cassandra is providing high availability, React is providing high availability. So these are the high availability and partition tolerance. Okay, so here hbase is lying in between CP, consistency and partition tolerance. Okay. Okay, so this is a tutorial for the hbase. So first, initially, we will do the hbase installation on the Ubuntu. So hbase installation, before starting the hbase installation, we have some differences, right? What is the difference between the hbase and HDFS? Okay, so HDFS is a Hadoop distributed file system and hbase is a NoSQL database. So if I compare with HDFS and hbase, both are entirely different, right? Because hbase is a NoSQL database and Hadoop distributed file system is a file system similar to the Windows or Unix file system, right? So HDFS file system is a sequential file system. It's a sequential data provider, but HBase is a database. That is the reason it can provide random access. So it is an index-based lookup is there. So data retrieval is faster in HBase as compared to HDFS, because HDFS is a basically sequential access. Okay. Second one is latency. If I compare with the latency, so it provides a low latency, means it's a faster access, right? Millions or billions of record you can access faster, because the database which is providing you random access and lookup faster, so definitely the latency will be very low. Here latency is high. Okay, so if I'm comparing it, but both are having its own purpose, right? So ultimately hbase is also storing the data on hdfs only, but the hbase is providing an interface to the end user. How can end user can read the data from the file faster using the table, right? So that is a concept is there in the hbase. So hbase provide the fast lookup for the larger table, and hbase is a database built on top of the sdfs. Okay, so if we are comparing it, so we find it one difference in the access, second one is a latency, and sdfs doesn't have this lookup support is not there because it is a sequential access. But sdfs is very suitable for large files of any type of file, structured, unstructured, semi-structured. Okay, but hbase is using mostly semi-structured and structured data. Okay, okay, so what is a row id? I explained this. Column family is a set of columns grouped together in a column family, and row id is the id which is uniquely identifying the row. So there are the two types of data storage is there, row oriented and column oriented. So you can say column oriented is like your hbase, and row oriented is any SQL database. So when you say row oriented means OLTP, online transaction processing, like Oracle, MySQL, SQL Server. So these are the online transaction processing database. But hbase and other Hive, these are the column oriented, like basically these are the OLAP, online analytical processing database. Okay, so this is high level difference of the SQL and NoSQL. You can say this is a SQL category and this is a NoSQL category. Okay, hbase we can compare with RDMS. This thing I have already covered, like horizontal scalability and vertical scalability. Second one I told about the schema less and schema dynamic schema. So it's a schema less and dynamic schema is there. Okay, so there is no fixed schema, right? It depends on data storage. It will decide the schema. Okay, in case of hbase. Okay, and it has denormalized data and we'll have to normalize data, right? So normalization, denormalization is a concept of redundancy of the data, right? So we make it normalizing the data by removing the redundancy of the data. Okay, so this is all history about the hbase. Okay, right? What about the hbase? So hbase architecture. So I have already explained the master server and the region server. Region server is there, and region servers have the regions, and the memory storage area is there, and h file is there. And another component is a zookeeper. Zookeeper is a coordination service for high availability. Okay, and it is also providing a communication between the master server and region server. So at any point of time, any region server is down, so zookeeper has the information about that which region server can be connected to the master server. Okay, so those all details, right, is having the zookeeper. Okay, so installation things I will go. Some general command. Okay, so hbase is having its own shell. Like when you start hbase, so you will get the shell like this, hbase shell. So this hbase shell, you can start the command. So this hbase shell, you type the command. Okay, I'm just giving the overview ideas of the shell command, and tomorrow I will show all those practical of those command and installation. Okay, so this one. Okay, so hbase, some general command are there which are not associated as a ddl, dml or dcl. These are general command, like I want to see the status. It got hanged. So hbase has general command. So general command is mostly giving information about the hbase, like product version. What is the hbase version we are using? who is the user of hbase and what is the status of the hbase, right? So number of servers are there in hbase, so it is giving a status. If I want to create a table in hbase, there is a create command. I want to list of the tables in hbase, so there is a list command. Disable command is there to disable a table. Once you disable a table, you cannot, then only you can drop the table. Okay, so any table which is enabled, you can't drop it. Okay, so you cannot drop the table without making it disabled. So whenever you are making it table enable, there is an enable command is there. When you want to make it table disabled, disable command is there. Is enable and disable command to check whether the table is disabled or not. Is enable command is to check whether the table is enabled or not. Alter command is like you can modify the column family or column names. So anything you can do, alter command is there. Drop, you can drop a table. Drop all the tables you can drop. Okay, and we have the put command to write the data into the table. Get command to get the data, delete all. Scan also get command, but this is returning the whole table data. But get is fetching the particular row or cell data. Okay, truncate is it's just like a delete, but we know, right, in a SQL also, when we use delete, our data cannot be rolled back. Oh, our data can be rolled back, but in case of truncate, our data cannot be rolled back. So same difference is here also, delete and truncate. Okay, so we have a Java API also, Java admin API. So programmatic way, if I want to do this all functionality, I can do. Okay, so first of all, how to start hbase? Simply I write hbase space shell. So my hbase shell will come like this. Once my hbase shell comes, I can write my command like list command I can type, or any command, create table command I can type. Okay, so first of all, like create table. So create table command I already told about this, create emp, and I can specify my column family. So personal data and professional data. So I have created 2 column family. And when I do list command, it will show my table will be showing as a list. Okay, this is a Java API is there. So how to connect hbase using the Java API and then create a table dynamically. Okay, so 2 ways are there to create a table or to do all these commands. One is using the hbase shell. This is the hbase shell. We can do the command here, hbase shell. And the second way is programmatic way. Like I can create a one Java project and then I can do. So Java project is a programmatic way. So you can do for automation. So suppose I have to create 100 tables, right? And I have to insert the data into all 100 tables. So I can go for programmatic way rather than manual way. Okay, command line way. So generally the command line way we use for the testing, like we want to create table and we want to verify the table data, we want to scan, and we want to just for testing purpose we do command line. Okay, so hbase, suppose I have inserted data from Spark, right, and I want to verify the data, so I can go to the shell and then I can hbase shell and then I can check the table. So there is a scan command and get command, I can see the data in the table. Okay, disabling a table, listing a table I told. Disabling a table, there is a disable command is there. So it's very simple, like disable table name. So your table will become disabled. And when you do scan command, it will give you the error. So whenever the table is disabled, you can't see the data. So you have to verify first is disabled. So it will return true. So first you have to make it table. How to make it enable table? Enable command is there. So enable table name and then it will become enable. Okay. Is it clear so far? This one? I'll show this installation steps. Okay, enabling a table. So this is a opposite of the disable table. So how to make it table enable? Okay, describe command is for check the schema. So suppose I want to see what are the tables in the table, what are the column families are there, what are the column names are there. So every information I can get it by using the describe command. So describe and table name in single quote, we can get all these information about the table. So this this column families and those all details I can get it about the table. Alter command is like I want to modify any column family name. So I can maximum number of cells of column family. So I can define I can change the column family or alter table name, personal data, updating all reason. This is I think version thing. Deleting a column family. So alter table name, delete and column family. The given syntax to change the maximum number of cell of column family. So this is a different purpose they are using alter. Delete column family we can delete, and adding a column family. So new column family we can also add. Okay. So alter table add command we can add a new column family. So any new column family so add, and then I can give the column family name. Okay, we have to use this arrow operator. Okay, so we have to use arrow operator. So after doing the alter, right, so it will automatically change all the regions, right? It will be replicated, right? Or it will be updated, because whatever the metadata is stored, right? So it should be updated so that when the client is getting the data from the table, so the new metadata should be retrieved. Okay. Okay, so far this is clear, right? Exist command is to check whether the table exists or not. So this is simply return true or false, right? If table exists, it will return true. If table does not exist, it will return false. So this is very simple one. So table exists or table does not exist, that message it will return. Okay, so some other like drop table is there. Okay, so drop table is, but we need to disable table before the dropping a table. So when we are dropping table, so drop table. So first I'm doing a disable table, and then I'm calling the drop table. If I want to drop all table, I can use regex. So I can give it like the table which is starting like t dot star. So like this, we can make it some regular expression. I can use, okay, some letter which is starting all the tables. I can make it drop. So this kind of regular expression I can use. Okay. So I can create a data by using a put command. So put command is to write a data into the table. So put command is there to write a data into the table. And for update also we use the same put command only. Like we want to, so put command is basically we use like this: put table name, this is my row ID, and column family, and then I'm telling which column, name column, and I'm giving a value. So I need to tell which data I need to update. So it will create another new version. So hbase is maintaining 3 versions at a time. Okay. So whenever you are updating the value, when you are writing the value or updating the value, it will maintain the 3 copies of version. Okay. So when you are retrieving the data, it will show you the latest data, but it will maintain the history of 3 versions. Okay. Default is 3, but you can change it. This is configurable. Okay. So we can change it. Some configuration properties we can change in the XML. So in hbase installation, we have some hbase site.xml. We need to do some configuration change, and then we can allow how many versions of copies we want to maintain. If we don't want to maintain 3 versions. So put command to write the data, and scan command, when I do scan emp, so it will show whatever data I have inserted, it will show me all the data. Okay, so it will show me all the data. Okay, but suppose if I want to get a specific record, so I can go for get command. So get is like I can specify get table name. I want a particular row ID. In this particular row ID, how many column families are associated with this row ID? All column families will come. If I give table, comma, row ID, comma, a specific column family, so only specific column family, all column will come. So you can filter out, you can get the data based on your need, right? Do you want the entire row? Do you want entire row with only column family data, specific column family, or a specific column family, specific column data you want? So you can specify what level of information you want. So you specify get table name, row ID, and you say column family, and column name. So only that particular column data will come, right? So all those other columns data will not come. So it is get is more specific to the condition based data, right? Like what type, what values, what data you want. Okay. And update data. So update data, I told you, right? Whenever I have existing data and I want to update the data, so some specific column value I want to update, so I can update by using the put only. So put is a very intelligent function method, right? Like it can easily identify whether your data is a new or whether your data is existing data. Like you are modifying the data or you are inserting the data. So if the value is not present before, so it will be, it means like you are inserting a new data. But suppose sometimes you have already data in your city column and you want to update with the new value. So whatever data you have and you want to change it to different value, so you can give new value. So new value will be updated. So whatever new value that will be updated in that column for that particular row, right? So you are specifying which row you want to update. Okay. For that row, it will update the data. Okay. So if you see here, the data is updated this place to this place. Okay. So this is updated. Read data, this is I told about get, and delete data is like you want to either use delete or you can use truncate. But in case of truncate, your data will not be rolled back. But in case of delete, you roll back your data. Okay. So you can delete or roll back. And one more function is count and truncate. So count is like you want to find the total number of record count. So we can go for count. So I want to get the count of all the records. So I can go for count. It's like a same select count star from table in the SQL database. Okay, so that is count. Okay, so when we are going to install hbase, so I'm telling the link like you guys can follow and install. So hbase, and I will instruct also hbase installation on Ubuntu. We have to follow. It is showing Hadoop installation first. So this is already done. We don't need to do this because this is a Hadoop installation. So this is Hadoop installation. So, okay, hbase is starting from here. So first you have to find the latest release of the hbase. Okay, what is the latest version of hbase? So when we hbase version is a 3 point something is there. This is the older version 2.4. So 3.0 is the alpha version. So we can follow any 2.x version. Okay. So this is the latest version, came in 27 June. Okay. So we go with any of these versions. So what is the latest here? 2.5.3. So this 2.5.3, this is the tar file is there. hbase 2.5.3 bin tar. So what you need to do here you have to change the version 2.5.3 and then you automatically it will pick the version from here. It will pick the version and it will download. So once your tar is download, you will extract it and you just create one user local hbase. Okay, so this folder you will move it. Okay, and then we have to set the path. So this is in the bash rc. Okay, they are doing in the profile.d, but we will do in the bash rc. So this path already we done. We don't need to do this because Java home, Hadoop home, these all are there. Okay, so only thing is in the hbase home path, and we have to add the path. In the path variable, we have to add one more hbase. So hbase entry will come here. When you see here, hbase entry will be in the last. Okay, bin path. So this is first thing is we have to download the hbase zip. We have to extract it and keep it in our user local hbase, and then we have to update the bash rc. I will mention these all steps. Okay, and then we have to write the configuration file. Okay. Okay, let's see. I'll do this. So hbase version. Okay, the first step is I have to change the version. hbase version 2.5.3, 2.5.3, and this is my wget command. This is my wget command. After that, once this is downloaded, I have to extract it, and then I have to write it to the user local hbase, and I have to set the hbase home path. So my home path is export hbase home. So this path I have to write in the bash rc. Okay, so nano dot bashrc. So I have to write it this path and export path, and then I say $hbase home $hbase underscore home. So $path. So $path will come first. $path. So $path and colon, and then $hbase underscore home slash bin. Okay, so this entry I have to add in my bash rc, and then source. So this one is update your shell environment values, echo hbase home, just echoing it. Okay, this is just writing it. Here is Java home script. Okay, this one is okay. So hbase env.sh file, there we have to make it our JDK entry. So we have the Java 8, right? We are not using 11. So we have to add this entry in the hbase -env.sh. So in this file, we have to add this entry, and this entry is JDK Java 8, Java 8 Open JDK, this entry. And then next is it is saying we will do configuration like this. All configuration file for hbase is located. So our configuration folder we have to go, and there we have to add like hbase site.xml file we have to add. So hbase site.xml. So hbase site.xml. So in this hbase site.xml, so for this, two options are there. Either you can use hbase in the standalone mode or distributed mode. Second one is a distributed. So we are preferring this one because our hbase is running on a single machine. So in standalone mode, all daemons, your hbase master, hmaster, hregion server, zookeeper, all in the one JVM. Okay. So we need to create this directories. So we have to use it as it is because this is all Hadoop directory because we are using Hadoop mkdir. So we are creating the Hadoop directories. So these all directories we have to create. Open the file for editing. hbase site file, we have to open it. Okay. In this file, we have to make an entry of this configuration. So whatever configuration we created, like we are just this configuration we will override there. Okay. After doing this is almost done. And after that, we have to start the hbase, like this command, start hbase.sh. Okay. But before that, our Hadoop service is running. Otherwise, your hbase will not start. So before that, you have to start the Hadoop, start-all.sh. So this command is for Hadoop to start, and this command is for hbase, hbase, hbase to start. Okay. So once this is started, okay, so this all are the for other things. Okay. So if I want to do first this one, these two, this path is not found. So what path is there? This is the path, right? So if it is not working, so I can go to my browser and then I can download it. Or otherwise, I can give the correct wget command path. So then I can get it. Here I can this one. This star file download. It's a 299. Okay, meanwhile, I started Hadoop first. Start hyphen all.sh. Now I go to the installation folder. This one I expected. This folder, rename it. I just keep it 2.5.3. Again, actually 2.5.3 is there. So this folder we copy it and keep it in our software, in our user local. So actually they given the command. We keep it in the same one. Okay. So this command is I give complete name. It's 2.5.3. So this is move. Okay, so this one is done. Now I set this path in bash RC. So nano. So all other path I have already set it. I'm just setting it on the hbase path and the path. So this path is $path and then hbase home/win. And this is my location of my hbase. So colon W2, Control X, Shift Y, enter. And then I have to do source command. For any entry in the bash RC, we have to do source command. And next thing is we have to add this JDK entry, hbase env.sh. So I have to go to USR local. Okay. So USR is USR directory is other location. So USR the local hbase. This is hbase. Here is a configuration folder, and here is a hbase env.sh. To open this file. So here is my JDK entry. Create this directory and give the permission. So on the Hadoop command, this file is hbase.xml. Here is this location. So I have to go to, here is a hbase site. Here is already this configuration tag is there. So I have to add my properties. So here is one property is root directory. So root directory is a one property. Another one is a zookeeper property. The two properties are there. Here the distributed property is false because I'm using a standalone. So I added these two properties. And then Hadoop service already I started. To start it. So now how to start hbase? Hbase shell command. Keeper, it is not recognizing. 2181 connection refused. Zookeeper service is not started. The zookeeper, running zookeeper. Okay. So last time we are getting this issue. So I went into the root and then I started the hbase service. Okay. So you have to go to the location of the your hbase service. Okay. So hbase I installed in the user local, right? User local. So there we have to go and there we have to start the hbase service. Because whenever I'm trying to start the hbase service in my own user, it is not starting. Okay. The zookeeper is not starting. So now I want to check it. I will just do simply list. So right now list is empty. Okay. Now I do create single quote emp and I say column family name personal. Okay. Can you see list now? Table is there. Emp, right? So I'll show tomorrow like all those command. Okay. So you follow the same steps. Okay. I'll share the video. You can exactly follow the same step. Same thing you can install. Only issue will come to you regarding the like starting the hbase service you start now, then you should start in root, not in the your own user. These people also did start su and then go to the root, and then once you go to, they are starting in Hadoop user, but we have to do sudo su. Okay, so I'll mention it here. So you have to do sudo su. So here when you are starting the hbase service, this one, go to root using sudo su, and then go to the hbase directory. That is your usr/local/hbase, and there you do /. So you do // command, and then your hbase will start. After that, you write hbase shell. Okay, then you will see your hbase prompt will come like this, and then you can do list command, hbase create table emp, then column family, personal, professional. That how many column family you want to create, you can. Then you can add the data in this column family. So this all steps. So this will be giving problem. So we don't need this. So this all steps you have to do as it is, whatever it is here in my notepad. Okay, and this link I'm copy pasting so that you can take a reference of this link. Here you can take the reference. Okay, so tomorrow I will cover commands and then I will finish it this hbase. Yeah, thanks everyone for attending session.
Yeah. Hey, Arvin, you want to stay behind for things that I
Yeah,
say?
I'll start in the 5 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.